What's up, my friends? It is once again the Doctor, Dr. Remy LeBeau, in the X Lair, ready to once again provide you with your daily, if not hourly, if not minutely, if not secondly, treatment to help you get through yet another moment with the X-Men statue withdrawal syndrome, the thing that doesn't allow you to sleep, that causes you to vomit every time you put anything in your mouth. Um, it's a terrible situation you're in, and I'm here to help you get through it by providing you with this statue of Pietro Maximoff, also known as Quicksilver. This is, as some of you might know, and as the rest of you will eventually know, and I'll get to that in a second, is the son of Magneto, the only male son of Magneto. He is actually the twin brother of Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Y'all have seen or some of you have seen the video that I made of the website exclusive version of the Scarlet Witch, which was released. Right now, it's the middle of 2013. It was released earlier this year, and she's got the crazy sort of like wrinkled and like magical and just awe-inspiring cape. Um, her and him display great together. It's a really great set. And I actually threw Polaris in there as well. Polaris being yet another important X character who actually happens to be the half sister of Wanda and Pietro, another daughter of Magneto. The three of them, I have them displayed together now in one detail shelf, and it's a spectacular display. They work really great together, and I had them displayed right below the Action Magneto with the crazy cape, which I've also posted a video and like a blog post of, and it's like like a Magneto family display of just incredible, awesome power, which I am very happy with. So I actually just got this guy maybe like a week ago, and the reason was because I wanted to make that display. I wanted to make sure that he was in there in order to finish off the Magneto children triumvirate that needed to be completed by including Mr. Pietro Maximoff. Now, a couple of interesting things. First of all, this statue is one piece. So the base and him are not separate, which is kind of interesting. It is not the X base. It is like this weird sort of futuristic looking base. Um, it can also be considered. I mean, it's got sort of like the presence of like an Oscar. So if you, as a viewer, were to give me an award for Statue Video of the Year, this is probably the award I would get. So let's pretend you did. I just want to thank you all. All I did was press enter on my computer, and the video recorded. I didn't do much, but I do deserve this award, and I don't think I'm better than you all, but thanks for thinking I am. Is that a good acceptance uh, speech? If it's not, I'll come up with something better and refilm this video. Anyway, this could be like a statue award, like presented to like the statue video of the year or something. That would be a funny thing. Anyway, enough funniness. Really interesting. I wound up with number 999 of 1,000. There were 1,000 of these made. It was produced in 2008, and it was sculpted by Mr. Randy Bowen himself, the head of Bowen Designs, the reason why Bowen Designs exists, and the reason why I am so poor and so rich with amazing statues all around me, just infusing my life with X goodness at every turn in my home. Yay for Randy Bowen. So he sculpted this guy. There's actually three of these statues. There's actually three versions of the statue. There's this version. There was a website exclusive version which had everything the same color, like light blue, uh, uh, from his leggings all the way up to his shirt. I'm not including the white elements. So basically, the granny panties. Granny decided to give him panties that matched the rest of his outfit in that particular instance. And there's another version which is him in the green outfit. Now, the green outfit is super important because that's how he first appeared. So Pietro Maximoff has been around the X-verse for as long as most of the seminal, most important X-Men have. He was actually introduced in the 4th issue of X-Men. The original title of X-Men was called just X-Men before it turned into Uncanny X-Men later on. He was introduced as one of the villains that was part of Magneto's, I think it was Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. I might be wrong about that. I think I'm pretty right about that. Um, so him and Wanda were introduced super early on in the X-Men canon. Right now it's like 2013. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the X-Men. Wow, right? Like amazing. I remember we celebrated the 30th anniversary when I first started reading comics. So actually, Marvel has done some really cool stuff. Like they're releasing like interlocking covers to commemorate the 50th anniversary. This is one of them, and this is a cover of X-Men. The cover image has nothing to do with the actual content of the comic, and that's the case with all these interlocking covers they're creating. They're basically just getting artists from the various eras. Like this is Joe Mad, one of my favorite X-Men artists, and he actually drew an Age of Apocalypse cover here, which is fantastic. I digress, though. I digress. Anyway, they've been around for 50 years was the point. Pietro Maximoff has basically been around for 50 years. He's super important. But, so, he was a villain, and then he became like an Avenger. Him and Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, became Avengers. So he actually was an Avenger for a while. Then he became part of X Factor in the 90s. Now he's back to being an Avenger, I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure he's back in his green costume as well. So, this he's jumped around quite a bit. There's been all sorts of sort of contexts in which Pietro has existed, and he's just a really interesting character. This is a very nice statue of him. The only critique I have of this statue is that it's it, there. He's just standing there, and Pietro's power is like super speed. He's kind of like the Flash, you know. So it would have been nice to have had him in like kind of like a dynamic running pose. But I mean, he's got a really great presence, sort of like stoic and just like stern, and he looks great, in a display as like in a display that I've described to you, with the rest of his siblings, around Magneto, or he could work like an Avengers display. If you were using maybe the green version, you could throw him in with some Avengers. Like there's all sorts of things that this statue could work in, but it would have been cooler to have him in a dynamic pose. Hopefully, somebody will release a statue of Mr. Pietro Maximoff in a dynamic pose at some point soon. So as I said, the statue is one piece. It's pretty. I mean, it's really nicely done. It's really simple. It's like classic like Randy Bowen sculpting. He paid a lot of attention to the musculature. He does it all traditionally. He didn't do it digitally. So this is all him like sculpting. The body is fantastic. The costume looks great. They give it a little bit of a metallic sheen for the blue, so that's really nice. Kind of adds sort of like that semi-elegant quality to the statue. Of course, the rest of the costume elements look great. There's kind of like a pearl white um, throughout the costume. But I mean, I think the best part of him is his face. Like Pietro has a very particular look, and I think it's captured very nicely here. His features, the look on his face, he's kind of mad, but that's kind of like his resting face. He's got like resting bitch face. I don't know. I saw Anna Paquin on a show the other day. Anna Paquin, who plays Rogue, and she said that she's known to be on some website called like Resting Bitch Face, which they have a bunch of photographs of her where she's not smiling, she's just not doing anything with her face, but I guess she evokes like a bitchy quality, which I thought was funny. Pietro seems to have the same quality. He has the resting bitch face. No offense to any women out there. By bitch, I'm just talking about female dogs. Um, anyway, great. Randy Bowen did a great job on the face, and then the hair. Really important is to have sort of like these two sort of clumps of hair that go back, and they look kind of like horns. And I've taken photographs of this statue, like I have with every other statue that I've featured in a video post, and you can see that on my blog. So you can click on the link on the description of the video or on my YouTube home the homepage of my YouTube channel. There's a link to my blog there. Um, my blog is xmenstatuesoffuturepast.com, and every statue video has a bunch of photos associated with it, which you can check out. Um, so with this particular statue, what I wanted to mention about it, which I thought was probably one of the coolest sort of uh, characteristics that Randy Bowen captured perfectly, is his hair. You see, he's got that sort of like signature look to his hair, like those two clumps that look kind of like horns that were just sculpted really nicely, and the hair looks really nice. The face done really well, and just captured really nice. Again, you can check out some photographs on my blog. Um, and thank you again for this award. I do deserve it. I do. Um, the Quicksilver. It's the Quicksilvers. It's the 2013 Quicksilvers with your host Anna Paquin. I don't know. Okay, so mentioning Anna Paquin and Quicksilver, I can't help but mention the fact that Quicksilver is, as a character, has become sort of a bone of contention in the cinematic universe right now. Both the X-Men cinematic universe and the Avengers cinematic universe. So Quicksilver. Okay, so 20th Century Fox owns the X-Men. Marvel and Disney own the rights to produce the Avengers. Quicksilver and Wanda Maximoff are in both universes, and somehow there's like a legal loophole that allows both of them to be used in the films. Joss Whedon announced that Quicksilver and Wanda Maximoff are both going to be in the Avengers too. And Bryan Singer recently announced that Quicksilver is also going to be in the forthcoming X-Men Days of Future Past, which is going to be this incredible X-Men film, which is going to bring together characters from X-Men First Class and the original trilogy, and it's going to be amazing, and I know it, and I can't wait to see it. Um, Ideally, they would be played by the same actor, and that would actually establish a link between the two cinematic universes. I don't think the companies are going to allow that. I don't think the lawyers are going to allow that. The lawyers, damn contracts. But it's a really interesting sort of situation that Mr. Pietro Maximoff happens to be in the middle of. So for those of you that don't know the character well, you are going to know the character very well because he's going to be in both of these mega blockbusters movies. X-Men Days of Future Past coming out in 2014, The Avengers 2 coming out in 2015. Who's going to do it better? I don't know who's going to do it better. They're both great directors. Both films are going to be great. Obviously, Avengers fans are going to say that Joss Whedon's going to do it better. I'm a huge Joss Whedon fan. I know he's going to do him justice, but Bryan Singer is he's great as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see the different versions of the characters. So in the Avengers, they can't mention that he's a mutant or that he's the son of Magneto. So they're gonna go a different route with him. So I don't think they'll necessarily conflict like the two versions. So I think it'll work. But as always, Pietro is in the middle of conflict, and that's just the nature of this character. He's been in a couple other things. He was like a central character in the X-Men Evolution cartoon, which is the second animated series for the X-Men that existed in I think the early 2000s, and it was kind of like a silly portrayal, just having him as like a teenager and kind of like the rebellious son of Magneto. Kind of worked, kind of didn't. But cool to see Pietro beyond just like the comic book page. He did appear once with Wanda or maybe twice in the X-Men cartoon of the 90s. There was a weird episode that involved the High Evolutionary, and basically just telling the tale of Magneto and the fact that he had two children and him discovering that he had two children and it was cool, and they represented him and Wanda really nicely. And then finally, of course, in the X-Men cartoon that was released maybe a year or two ago, Wolverine and the X-Men, actually it's probably like 3 or 4 years ago now, maybe like in the late 2010, 2008, 2009. He was featured in that cartoon as well. That was a really great cartoon, and if they had gone on to produce more of it, I think it would have been it would have been legendary, and he would have had a great role in it. I think No, Wanda was in it as well, and so was Polaris. It was great. Polaris being Lorna Dane being the third child of Magneto. Unfortunately, they canceled that cartoon series. Wah. Super sad about that. Will be super sad about that for the rest of my life. Anyway, so that's it, folks. That is as much as I want to say about this very cool statue of Quicksilver. As I said, there's 3 versions of him. No other statue producer has produced a Quicksilver, but given that he's going to be so prominently featured in the cinematic universes in the forthcoming years, it's possible we're going to see more of more fanfare um, related to Mr. Pietro Maximoff in the form of statues, in the form of comics, in the form of who knows. Maybe he'll get his own television series. Who knows? Um, anyway, there he is, folks, in all his glory. Once again, the Quicksilver, the award I got for Best Statue Video of the Year. Thank you so much for giving me this award. Again, I do feel like I deserve it, and I am better than I thought I was now that I have this award. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for checking out my content. X-Men Statues of Future Past is my blog. You can go on there to check out the photos I took of him, but you can also check out everything else in my collection that I've posted thus far. There's about 35 videos with associated photos and posts. They're all listed in alphabetical order on any page on the top left of any page on my blog. So just scroll down there. You can check out the variety of stuff that I've managed to post this far. I have a lot more stuff to post, but I'm also kind of delving further into the potential for these statues in a variety of like showdown videos, comparing statues, and also like display option videos, kind of giving you ideas of what can be done with these statues once you have them, as far as like combinations and permutations within displays. So check all that stuff out. A lot of it also you can check out on my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Remy LeBeau's X-Layer. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're interested in watching more of my content and sort of keeping abreast of what I'm posting, subscribe. It'd be great to have you just come by on a regular basis and check out the latest offerings I have for you. So thank you for watching this video, and thank you for the support regardless of what your decision is in regards to that. And just one last thing I'd like to say, and it's an important thing I need to mention. If there's a box and you don't put an X in it, I'm not going to be very happy because ain't nobody checking me. All right, folks. Thank you so much again for all your support, and take care. I'll see you all very soon through your television/computer screens. Bye bye. Or phone screens. Bye bye. Or tablet screens.